in the middle of a lot of like project switching. So today might be a little short, but I guess free time for people to head back. Um, so I guess as a summary for this month, we were really focusing on internal security upgrades and adding some more resiliency to marketplace, um, as well as working on account security feature that we're hoping to roll out soon. That'll encourage people to verify their emails. This is kind of in an effort to reduce account takeovers, which we've seen kind of an uptick of. Um, so we can kind of get into the nitty gritty. We've did some upgrades to the marketplace PLE logic, which had a little blip, but should be good now, as well as expanding some of our Elasticsearch capabilities. So we've upgraded there, and that was a source of some major downtime in the summer. So we're hoping that this work will help kind of mitigate anything like that. We're also testing and evaluating like some marketplace security options. So these are things that we're hoping to do so that we can make sure that marketplace is safe for our merchants and our users, and can provide us with a little bit more security and faith in what we're pushing out. Um, and then what we've been working on for account security is just uh, part of like the first step of a few kind of security features that we're looking to kind of bump up for accounts, but this one is just kind of a prompt to enable people to, verify their emails to make sure that you have access to the one that we have on account for you, and it's all safe and secure, since that seems to be a really big vector for people to getting their accounts compromised. Um, and then in terms of like little quality of life updates, we've only managed to do one bug fix that got deployed out, and that was around we had this outstanding thing where the character counter for descriptions when you're updating descriptions for a product were off completely, especially when things like emojis and stuff were included. So that was out. Is it the same verification required for the SL feedback? Um, I don't think so actually, because SL feedback you're speaking of like Canny? It'll be different. This will be ours, so it should also hopefully be easy peasy. Fingers crossed. Um, but we'll see. Um, yeah, that's our goal, and of course we're always open to feedback. Um, so yeah, very very minimal updates for us, and I imagine it'll be the same for the next WUG. Um, but that kind of leads to my open-ended question for the group, which was like, I think I use this setup a lot, but if you could maybe like wave a magic wand and remove something from Second Life web interface, so like not just the viewer, but things like in marketplace or in auctions or and where have you, um, what would it be? And I know it's really easy to think of like bugs and stuff like that, but I'm kind of just thinking like wholesale, like what is something you've never used and you'd think is like kind of useless? Um, Kind of a weird question, but
In the dashboard, we're talking about dashboard, right? We're talking about the actual SL website.
yeah, it could be any part, but yeah.
So on the main page, we've got a download option at the very top and then at the very bottom. But when you go into your actual dashboard, you've got underneath the Linden home, which we've already discussed, that picture needs hell updating. You've got another ad space size banner there that says download Second Life. At that point, they should have downloaded it by now, but that could just be a word at the top, and that could be used for something that has more bearing on, I don't know, a destination guide banner instead. That's more worthy of that rather than the download option. Okay, sure.
Okay,
Sorry.
this no worries.
Doing that stutter clicking thing. You know what happens when you're like, oh, I've got to do this correctly. So on the right there, you've got your own private home in Second Life, which we mentioned last month, that picture is like the first Linden home, so that needs an update. But directly under it, there's a full, banner size download Second Life. It's not. It's taking up valuable real estate when we already have download links at the top and bottom of the main page before you even get into that.
Yeah. Yeah, we were discussing like things we would want to remove from the dashboard last time too, and I think this one came up and it's a good point. I mean, the dashboard it needs a more loving view in general. So,
Right, and I think the download banner could become a destination guide banner instead, because even though that is hyperlinked up the top, it's just a word and it doesn't have the same gravitas as being destinations. You know what I mean? Like an image and something exciting, or even just an image of the destination guide so that it looks like a lot is going on there.
that's fair. Oh, also speaking of destinations, this is somewhat related. Sassy, a few months ago you mentioned about um having Second Life promote certain charity events that
Mm-hmm.
people are putting in. So I had to ask a few people, and if it's for like a vetted charity, I think the American Cancer Society or whatever those are, you can actually submit through to the destination guide form, and we can put it in the destination guide as
Oh, no,
like
no, 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 no. This wasn't for that though. So we already have our events in
okay,
Destination Guide. What
okay,
I
and
wanted
then
was the
mhm,
main website to actually show that Second Life users support Wigs for Kids, Relay for Life, Doctors Without Borders, Michael J. Fox Association. There's another handful, and these are annual events every year. And I think having a hyperlink on the website, the main website, not Destination Guide, but the main website, if I was looking at joining something like Second Life and saw that you support all these charities through incredible events, I might be more inclined to become a resident, but then also they could be clickable through to learn more about the charities and perhaps donate outside of Second Life. I think it would be a win-win for people.
okay. And then I was also told that the person to get in contact with who would be able to like help beyond the destination guide form would be Derek.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I can give you his LinkedIn email. Um, but I talked to
I
them
do
and
think
just said
what
that
Sassy's suggesting, though, is more on the marketing side, like sharing it on SL.com, which is certainly an idea we can pass on to the marketing team. And Sassy, if you already submitted a feedback for it on the
I
feedback
haven't.
portal, okay, that would be a great place for that sort of feedback. And then we would shuttle it off to the marketing team as well.
Cool,
yeah.
but
Okay. I guess I'll let Strawberry know that's incoming then. Okay.
I think Derek is more for if there's like a new charity or if we need to make sure that they have a tax-free status or whatever. That's the sort of thing Derek would handle.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
I think, this is a different beast.
Yeah. Then yeah, he does, but he also does the charity vetting as well. So
Derek is a busy man.
yeah.
I had
Minute
to
minute.
deal. He helped me with that situation, Grumpity,
He's fantastic.
earlier. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I really wanted to follow up on that because it was a good idea, and every time you ask about it, and I wanted to facilitate it. So
That's awesome. I appreciate that you think on it. One of the other things I'm not sure that this is your area or who does it, but the destination guide, when you look at it, it actually shows how many people are on each location. And in Worlds, when you go to search places, because not we don't all use the web user interface, but sorry, I heard that you're bringing legacy search back, so it's still relevant. Traffic is kind of ridiculously redundant, because why do I care how many people were there yesterday? But it would be really great if that same power that is feeding the destination guide of how many people are on a region was available in just regular search, I think that would help locations more in some way, or help residents more find interesting places to go, or avoid avoid places that are busy.
Could you like, I want to take down notes for this. Could you repeat it? So in where exactly do you want to see a count? Not in the destination guide, but
In legacy search, is that right?
Yeah, so in legacy search, so a lot of
Got it.
us use Firestorm and third parties, and we still have legacy search, whereas SLV has web user. But when you pull up a place, you say you search prim feed, location, the region, it will tell me that yesterday it was busy, so it'll say there were 18,000 traffic, whatever. 18,000 traffic doesn't mean anything to anybody in the moment, or to any new resident at all, because they don't even know what traffic is. But in the destination guide, if I open up the guide, it tells me that 83 people are at London City and 14 people are at Isle of Worms or whatever, and that's more, oh, I should run over there, it seems really popular, or I should go there, it seems really busy, or, oh, there's nobody there right now, so I can have the whole place to myself, and that's great for taking photographs. That seems more relevant. Traffic is so inconsequential to the everyday these days. So if we swapped those numbers for actual current users on the locations, that would be amazing, I think.
okay. Yeah, I know that we want to redo search. It's a big thing. But we also want to do it right because it's something that you can really mess up. Um, so it's good to kind of get a little bit of additional information. And I did not know that I know that you can access the old search, but I didn't know that was like really strongly used in the Firestorm viewer.
I never use web search.
Yeah.
Can I just ask, so sorry, is, I don't want to say this wrong, Istari? I have to disagree. I feel the traffic is very important. It lets you know if someone likely to show up when you wait somewhere. Again, it's yesterday's traffic. So if a place had a sale or something yesterday, that doesn't mean anybody's going to turn up there today.
Yes, but if it's like a hangout location or somewhere social, then it gives you a good idea as to whether anyone comes here ever, or if it's been abandoned for several years. Like, it's also pretty good if you run a region and you want to know are people showing up often.
you mean
I would rather we
somewhere
had I'd rather we just had both rather than getting rid of traffic.
Right. Okay, that's fair too. But I didn't read it the way you meant it. I thought you were saying if you're going to go there because you're waiting for a person that you know to turn up, you want to.
No, I'm talking about when you're
you mean that meeting new people.
Yes,
Okay.
I find it very useful for that.
That's valid too. That's valid. But that was sort of my point as well. Showing me 13,000 people yesterday doesn't mean anybody's going to be there today. So exactly the same thing. So we're getting at the same point, but you're right. Both would be helpful. It's just that the traffic takes up that slot of a lot of information.
Ideally, I would prefer some kind of average user number than just the weird traffic thing, which is like minutes spent in the region by people the previous day, which is like kind of arcane, but it's more useful than not knowing anything.
Yeah, and it seems like people don't even know what traffic means in this context, so it's
Right.
lost. Okay.
Or even if there was even if you sort of worked out a top, not top as in better, but if, for instance, when you did go to search club, instead of the top items being the traffic sort of thing, or I know you can select how you do that, but maybe there'd be a section at the top that would just say these locations are currently filled, like, these places have people at them at the moment. That.
Yeah.
Thanks, Sarah.
Yeah. Yeah, technically, yeah, destination guide, while previously wasn't in our purview, has come into our purview. And it's a little bit of a mix between like a third party service and ours. So the question of if we can get those metrics into the legacy search or the old search, um, it might be more complex, right? Something that's
Yeah.
yeah, which is not
So
to say that
yeah.
is maybe it's not as hard as I think it is. It could totally be something easy, but it's more like I don't know and I can't say anything either way.
There's a back-end service that feeds those numbers.
Yeah.
And the question is, can we plug it into search and how would we do it? Overall, we'd like to look at updating search and discoverability and how people find other people. So as we're doing that, for sure, we'll be looking at, who's there now and how to find it. And this is hopeful feedback.
Yeah, it's very hard. With us
Although
in the...
not necessarily going to be the stuff that falls on the web team's plate, but definitely overall product.
It's very hard to suggest where to go to new residents because it's the busiest place can be the trolliest place. Destination guide, I actually did a run through of it as a test the other day with a new account to see where I'd get kicked from. I was actually really, really happy that I only got kicked from 3 places. That is against
the
the
newcomer
rules for the
friendly
destination guide.
section. It's only against the rules actually for the newcomer friendly section, I believe. The
Okay,
other
that's
places
news.
don't. I think so. I would need to triple check with Strawberry, but I think overall it is okay to have limits on access in the DG. It is not for the newcomer friendly section. But I may be wrong, and Strawberry is the ultimate authority.
Okay, no worries. Well, it wasn't in the newcomer friendly sections anyway, it was in the adult sections. So, because obviously what's happening is the newcomers that want to go to adults were kept coming back to the welcome hub and saying they were getting kicked out, and I couldn't understand that, which brings me to my next point, is that the destination guide is locked behind a login unless you already know the names of places, and in the SL viewer and stuff in the web search section, and that was really surprising to me too. I didn't realize that they had to actually re-log in, and people aren't doing that.
Sure about this? I think it is
I had to
only
the hyperlink at the bottom. So if you go to the web search part and you want to click the destination guide link that's there, it asks you to sign in if you're not signed in already. But you're in World, so you're signed in.
Right.
Right? And so it's an extra step. But you do get destination guide answers if you search for specific words. But if you're new to SL, you don't know the specific words or locations. It's catch-22.
This is... Whoa. Wait, this is specifically in the Second Life search that you're talking about, or okay,
in web user search, because I was trying to look at it because I constantly at the Welcome Hub put in my conversation into open chat, check out the destination guide for places to explore, blah blah blah, and people would just do nothing, wouldn't even leave. One guy said to me, "Oh, I'm logging out now, I'm bored." I said, "You haven't done any of the things. Can I ask why? Like, you haven't done any of the things that I've suggested. You haven't moved." And he was just like, "It's too much, and like too much effort, like not doing it." And I was like, "What effort?" Because I thought when he clicked destination guide, he would just get teleports, but didn't realize it was saying now log in. Like, I'm already in World. Why do I have to log in again? Which, of course, made me worry that that's how people are falling for phishing scams, because we're constantly telling them to re-log in World.
Okay, so I think the ask is So the reason destination guide requires a login to see some of the destinations is maturity ratings. But if you're opening the destination guide in the in-viewer browser, it should not require a login. You're absolutely right.
No, I'm interested
Right.
to know what required it, because I'm at the destination guide and it just says teleport, but maybe there's a specific thing.
So
that-
if you
There's a
click the
hyperlink
link,
down the bottom.
if you click the link in chat, it will open it in the in-viewer browser, and
Yeah.
here it says sign in. And if you don't sign in, then you don't get a teleport link, you get a join now link. I see. So
Okay. Least one of us
Juniper, the ask here is to pass the login token to the destination guide when we open it in the in-viewer browser, which we should be able to do.
Yeah. Yeah. And we have someone, maybe if we can repro it and put in a ticket, that would work,
Yeah,
because I was not
for
able
sure.
to reproduce it. So I believe you,
Okay.
especially if it works. And I don't think it should be that. I don't know. We'll see. I don't like to say anything should be easy if I haven't looked into it. But I think it's something that you're right, that adds unnecessary friction, and we're looking to reduce that.
Okay.
So that's good. Various web domains. When you say, when you say panoramic 360 snapshots, what do you like? You mean like when you go into destination guide and you click in, it's like you can click the image and kind of have like a bigger 3D tiling, and yeah, all right, like a panorama image there. Okay.
We have the 360 snapshot taker built into the viewer, but it feels really underused when we could be attaching that to things like landmarks or destination guides or things to get a good like look around what's going to be waiting for you when you get there.
Oh yeah, let me jot that down. That's a good idea. Okay, thank you. That's a neat idea. I didn't know that. I mean, I think I know that the viewer had 360 snapshots, but I've never used it. So, makes sense.
They're quite fun to play with, but they're very hard to share with people at the moment. There aren't really many places to put them.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. I have a question. I know lots of people use prim feeds here. Does prim feeds allow for people to share those 360 snapshots or no?
There's someone here who could support that.
Oh, I didn't even see
Hey,
you
Luke.
there. Hi. Sorry. Now I inadvertently
I
made
have
a
to say
feature
this,
request.
and the rest of the attendees may hate me, but this is a great premium feature.
Oh, a question about API bandwidth for maps. Oh, that is an excellent question that I can't answer off the top of my head, but if you send it to me in chat, I can look into it. I do wonder how much of a lift it would be to get maps to support searching region names. No, I know I know it's something that's been requested quite a bit. It might be something that, you know, I'd have to look into. Okay, that's really interesting because I'm looking at this feedback ticket for the web bugs with the tiling, and I this like I don't remember us doing this or who marked it as complete and all that stuff. So let me look a little bit more into this. Tinker, regarding your question, I know that we're not technically in charge of the wiki, but I'm trying to remember the team that is to see if we can bubble up that question to them.
There's the wiki is, you know, user edited as well. The wiki pages are not dead, but we also don't currently have a single owner for them. If you have edits to make, please do and update them to something more current. if you don't have permissions, there's a process to follow to get deputized to edit the wiki. And I know that's a pain in the ass, and it exists because we can't have nice things, and we were getting a lot of spam on the wiki otherwise, and briefing. Yeah, don't talk to Twirly. You send an email to, let me just confirm, it is let me in at lindenlab.com. That's right. And you say, yeah. And you say, my name is so and so, and I would like to update the wiki pages, and support will deputize you. Yeah, the process page should be updated as well. Where is it? Editing guidelines. All right, we'll get that one updated. Thank you.
With regards to the AI stuff, it is something that we are looking at. Like, we see all the tickets about it. We just haven't had the time to really prioritize that work for updating Marketplace since we've been really focusing on site resiliency. We're seeing it. It's a conversation that's above my pay grade, so I can't comment on it here. But we are reading the tickets and we are looking into it, so we're not like ignoring it. Sarah, if we can get the time to work on Marketplace UI updates, we do have a whole like phase 3 and phase 4 and all these kinds of things that we're looking to do. We're just kind of really thin right now and have prioritized health and running over the aesthetics for right now. We do have kind of designs mocked up and scope and all that stuff of things that we want to do, so we're hoping to get back to that. Hopefully maybe next year, but we'll see. I don't like to give names because things change and priorities change, and I'd love to get back to that personally. I can't win that design argument. The category icons. Oh. The German translation should not be auto-generated. We do go for, we do have like a provider, but if you could make a feedback ticket for where the translations make no sense in German, what we can do is we can go through those and ask our translator to redo it. Yeah, actually, that's a good question.
Wait, Ravelli, do you mean these are in, so these are the categories, right? This is not like the product descriptions that the merchants put in. Okay. Yeah, we definitely take tickets, like bug reports on bad translations. And we fix them.
I think that there might be a problem there with the fact that Second Life is full of made up words. So how would it be translated anyway?
Sure, but if it's not UGC, like if it's not user-generated translations, these are our translations, then we should see. Yeah, I mean, we should totally be able to address that. Not instantly, but yes. So file bugs, will update. But as a non-native English speaker, I share your frustration with bad translations.
The big fear when using a translator or even Google Translate to help people is that you don't actually know if what you asked it to say is actually saying the right thing, or if you've just cursed their family for 14 generations.
Oh, that's what happened to me when I keep getting other languages. I just keep getting cursed.
That's absolutely it for sure, Rez.
Oh my God, you guys. This is great, but um, at some point, AI translations are actually not too terrible. Hey, I apologize. I have to jump off. This has been really fun. Thank you all. I will encourage you to file bug reports or feature requests for visibility, especially not when, you know, this is not just a for funsies conversation, but something that's a persistent issue. The place for it is in the feedback portal. Even though Juniper is very kind and patient to take down notes and occasionally follow up, you can't abuse her.
But feedback portal is a great way to make sure it 100% gets seen. So this, while coming to WUG is nice, it's definitely not the best way to get the get your bugs fixed. So yes, Sarah, I have seen your maps, Candy. There's only one of me. Yeah, I don't know. I don't have handle on Canny in terms of translations, so it's a little bit out of my hand. Um, it's useful, but I like whenever it comes in for translations for Cannies, I'll always kind of clarify with the user, make sure I understand what the issue is.
Can I just ask a question? If you do notice something seems off in another language because it's your first language, what do you do? Like, do you then translate it to English? I'm not talking about you, Juniper. I mean the people that are having the issues. How do you, like, do you then run it through something else to English and see if it makes more sense, or what do you do? And if you don't know English at all, then whoa. Yeah, that alpha male that logged in his alpha viewer to test whether his alpha HUD was working or whether he'd accidentally left an alpha on would just cause all sorts of confusion, I'm sure.
Don't even get me started on the disaster that is the names of certain bodies. Legacy body, aesthetic body, Maitreya body, and you try and translate those terms.
Yep.
If only I had a nickel every time I had to deal with the phrase legacy body.
I just love the fact that now I've met somebody called Rez. You've just added a whole layer of complexity to my world. No. Res is a person, res is a thing, res is what something does, and res is something you do.
It's also a DJ, apparently. I keep getting confused for that DJ.
Or how I confuse people every time I mention system layers, and people only know them now as bomb layers.
Oh, the difference between system layers and bomb layers definitely is a minefield for new people.
You
People look for
already
clothing and the
know.
likes. They just find these really old 2002 textures, and they're just sat there like, but isn't this a piece of clothing? Why is it called something else? Why is it a cube in my inventory? Why doesn't it look like the little shirt icon?
Oh my goodness, I only realized yesterday that the cube is orange in SL Viewer, but yellow in Firestorm. I didn't realize that they were different colors.
Yeah, Firestorm never changed the cube color.
Right, but the SL viewer, it's orange or something?
Yeah, it changed to orange in the SL viewer ages ago.
And I'm telling somebody to look for the orange box, and they're like, I only see an orange box. And I'm like, if it's 3 cubes, then that's not the one we're talking about. And yeah, then realize that no, this was, yeah. Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah, that's no fun if you're trying to do support. That's something I really want to know. What's happening with the last updated date on the marketplace listings right now. It got put in, and we were all happy that we finally got to see a date. But the date was nonsensical and showed really strange dates on products that haven't been updated in a long time. Like some of my products personally showed that they were last updated in May, and I know they haven't been touched in at least 3 years. So no variants, no price updates, nothing. I've left them the same, but they're showing that I updated them this year, and that's nonsense.
Yeah.
They all look really busy.
It is an outstanding bug. You're right. And it's.
Oh,
it's
thanks. It's a bug.
Yeah. No, you're not at like. I'm not here to like gaslight you. It is wrong. It's a wrong number. If I remember correctly, I think it's not when it's actually updated. I think it's a bug when it was like last bought or something like that we didn't find out until way later, and we're debating either completely rolling back and removing it or trying to fix the source of it. But yes, it's known and it haunts me. I'd love to get rid of it.
Ideally, obviously, you'd prefer to fix it rather than just completely remove it. But the other thing I would like to ask in relation to it is, can we get a first listed date as well?
Oh, okay.
We've talked about that before, and we've talked about the pros and cons on that in real depth, because people tend to treat older items as old, and that would actually affect a lot of sales for people that have really good quality products that are old.
But if we have the updated thing and it's working as well, I don't see any harm in there being both.
Like one would only probably be better without the other. Yeah. It turns out that where we were getting that information about the update was not the true source of that date when it's been updated, and so we need to hunt that down and update that field. I'm torn between providing people information that's wrong and it's still being there, or like rolling back and then giving you it when we have it correct, you know? I feel like until we can, I don't know, maybe in the next week or so, when we've got people who can work on the outstanding bugs, I can see about the priority order on that one.
I'm just glad to know that you're all aware of it and doing something.
I think that we would end up having a lot of people that would relist their items if there was a date created item.
But even if they do relist their item, at least they're doing something. The majority of like really old items that are never being touched ever will still get filtered by this, which I still think is better than like nothing.
Yeah, it's been talked about a lot of times, a lot of different ways. We were talking about that it would be helpful. What I do often is look for things that are reviewed, just so I can get some sort of a date as when somebody reviewed it, and that gives me an idea of how old it is.
That's another thing. Speaking of reviews, it can be, as a merchant, it can be very it can be very difficult trying to get your customers to review your products because there's almost no incentive for them to do so. And it's actually quite clunky and awkward trying to ask people to go into their order history, then go to the listing page, and then try and hit the review. I really, really wish, like as both a customer and as a content creator, that there was some sort of bulk reviewing page on the marketplace where you could see all the stuff you listed recently and then give it a star review and type in the little box and send it off, kind of like Amazon has. Like if you go on Amazon, it will pester you about the last 3 things you bought and say, hey, you bought these, were these any good? Just click here if you think they're good. But if you do it on SL, it takes quite a long time to do it, and reviews are super valuable to the point where creators will often offer people like discounts. They'll offer people coupons. We try and bribe people all the time as creators to review things, and they just won't do it. You'll have a product that sells like 1,000 times, and you'll get like 8 reviews. It's crazy.
No, okay. Yeah. Reduce the friction and barrier to entry to review. I think the thing that comes up a lot is that reviews sometimes are a vector for harassment that I've heard about. And so, like, on one end, I do think it would be better if we could make it so that the friction is there, so that if someone does want to go and take their time out of the day to, like, use it as, like, a harassment means, it doesn't really matter because it means that everyone can do it, and so it's easier for higher rating reviews. But I think in general, like, the review moderation, yeah, it's like the power of one person to be really angry allows them to get over those maybe means of friction, whereas maybe if it was easy to leave good reviews, maybe that would influence and tip the scales.
While we're talking about reviews, can I suggest, I would really, and I mean, everybody can probably disagree on this, but I would really like it if we create, you, as in SL, if we created an actual what 1 versus 5 means as an actual thing, like 1 is bad, 2 is something, 3 is whatever, 4 is good, 5 is great. Because what happens is somebody leaves somebody a 4-star review, and you see creators lose their minds that it's not 5 stars. But the person leaving the review, to them 4 stars is like superb. 5-star is something unreachable by humans. You know what I mean? So, but you'll see people just lose their minds that somebody didn't give them 5 stars. Like, the extremism is crazy because 4 is a really good star. But because we don't have a guide of what it means, then, you know, people look at it negatively.
Sure.
Like, it just...
Yeah, it's all relative, right? Like, what is a 4-star to someone? Like, what is a B to someone is great, and then to someone else, it's like the end of the world, right?
Right.
Just a little bit of text when you're hovering the mouse over the stars, like just a little bit of text that pops up next to it, like, you know, fine, great, amazing type thing would, I think, help with that just a little bit.
Sure.
Yeah, and then maybe people would be less likely to leave 5-star reviews because 5-star means incredible, and they realize, oh, I've just been a little bit, you know, like just throwing 5 stars around. Maybe 4 is great because it represents great.
Yeah. I mean, I think this is a lot to marinate on. I would love to make the barrier to entry on reviews a little bit easier so that the harassment vector isn't that big of a deal, you know? Like, if it's easy to review, that means that it's easier for people to leave good stuff, and if someone gets mad at you, it's not the end of the world. But I also wish that there were like 12 more of me so that I could work on things.
That would be awesome. We vote for that. More of you.
Yeah, let me jot this down, because I know that when we do get around to like page and reviews, we did a little bit of sprucing up on reviews, but I think we can at least, like, when it comes up to it, I can bring it up to design and
how
share
about any idea of like a punch card system with the reviews? Like, if you leave a good review and then the creator, the seller of the item, sort of like upvotes your review, you would get some kind of a star, like a punch card for your account. And then say you get 10 10 punches on your account, that could actually get you something somewhere, hypothetically. Do you know what I mean? Like that could incentivize something.
I think maybe I'm also worried about like when you incentivize people, like it could also just mean that people who just want to go around and hate. I don't know.
Can I bring up the griefing thing mentioned earlier when we were talking about reducing the barrier of entry to reviews and the likes? That people who are hateful enough to specifically target a store and try and give it 1 stars for everything aren't going to not do it just because they don't have a convenient page to do it. Like, if they're spiteful enough to be doing that, they will do that anyway. The only thing that happens is the people who are going to give the magnanimous kind of benevolent reviews won't do it because it takes effort, and most people will be way more likely to act on something they hate than something they like. So I really don't think you'll get that big of a distortion from it. I think it's like possibly worrying too much. People do the griefing hate anyway, and they have to purchase your stuff to do it, right? So at least you got paid.
Yeah.
That's the other thing. We've talked about it before about there are creators that don't put demos on Marketplace at all because you can review them and then the haters attack the demos because then they don't have to pay. So we have talked about removing the review possibilities from the demo, but somebody getting a demo legitimately, finding that it was all busted and leaving an honest review that something was actually wrong with this product helps the next purchaser. But then they could also demo the product and find out it was busted and so on. So I think removing reviews from demos is only beneficial overall because then more people don't have the excuse of not putting demos on Marketplace.
News from demos. Okay. I'll probably ask about a little
Or at
bit
least
about
just the ability to disable reviews on demos would be nice.
Yeah, there you go. An option.
Okay. This was really good. For demos. Okay, and I've got like a transcript going for this as well. I have to jump because I've got another meeting, but thanks everyone for all of your feedback. I probably will not see you all until the new year, so Happy New Year and Happy Holidays if you celebrate any this month. And stay safe and comfortable out there.
Thank you. You are our favourite meeting, so we look forward to having more of them next year, convincingly. Yeah,
I have tried to petition. I'm gonna see if I can do it, hopefully. Alright. See you all.
Thanks, Bacon. That was an awesome meeting.